These kind of fools with my Walking Dead episode 6 season 3 review. Yes, I put episode from the season. I likes to mix it up. Yes, so we're 2 episodes after this episode away from the season finale. So this is kind of a setup episode, and then episode 7 will be, you could say, a more thrilling episode. This one was pretty thrilling, pretty action packed, you could say. Very lots of hints on what could be happening sooner or later. Um, Also, remember, spoiler alert if you're not caught up to this. I should have said this like 20 seconds ago, saying it was a thrilling episode, but I didn't tell you anything, so I did not spoil it. So if you have not seen the episode or you plan on seeing it and you haven't, then don't watch the video and come back after you watch the episode. And comic book spoilers, I'll tell you if there's gonna be a comic book spoiler before I say it. Um, So you don't have to worry. I try to limit those as much as possible because here for the TV review, they've been going away from the comic books a little bit, but the past couple episodes have been very comic book heavy. So let's get right into it. On the first scene, like you know how they do their little beginning scenes, I thought it was gonna be the phone call from last episode, but to my speculation of what would happen, Merle and 3 others follow him to follow Michonne. So Michonne's speculation is right that they're following her. She does leave a bitergram, I like to call it. Um, Said go back in a very clever way. It's a pretty cool way. She ends up sneaking up and killing 2 of them, and so yeah, I mean, not surprised to see Michonne is a very tricky person. Merle knew that they killed good old Tim. I thought Tim would have something, man. Um, but yeah, ambushes uh, Merle. She gets shot in the leg. Nothing fatal. Uh, Gonna hinder a little bit next, couple hours. Not realistic time, but maybe whatever she's doing. I don't know the time frame. Um, but yeah, you go back to the boiler room where Rick was answering the phone. Obviously, Um, the phone is not actually ringing. It's just his mind trying to make sure he doesn't go insane. Maybe I don't know why they did that. They did in the comic books though, but that was after the prison arc. That's after Lori dies. So maybe they used it to maybe keep him sane. That's my opinion. Um, so he ends up cleaning himself up, going back. I don't know how he cleaned himself up. That's going to be a question the next week or so. Um, how did he clean himself up? Doesn't matter. Maybe till episode 7, because we know Axel is fixing on Jen. We did not see this episode. So yeah, Andrea, whatever. I always want to call her stupid. Andrea or Andrea, whatever. She wants to be part of the Wall Watch. Um, as looking at the review right now, has some discussion about the gladiator stuff. Woodbury this week, um, this episode was kind of weak. Kind of just setting up maybe what the governor's plans were. Setting up a plot line for the governor. Definitely Andrea, because is she gonna stay or is she gonna go? And they haven't really given any hints to it, which is good. It's very good, because I don't know what the hell is gonna happen. Because I'll explain a little bit later in the episode, maybe, because there's more things that could change her decision of staying, maybe. Um, so yeah, Rick gets another call from the boiler room. The first one was a girl on the voice. We don't know. I not you. I'll explain when you. He answers again. There's a man on the phone asking. Um, Let me look. Ask him if he's ever killed anybody, uh, which he admits to. 4 people, 2 of the prisoners, Shane, and actually, he killed more than 4 humans. He's killed several. Maybe 4 of them that tried to get in the group. Maybe that's, I don't, that was tricky. I didn't notice that. He killed just now. So, maybe he's counting people he knew. Maybe. But yeah, that's interesting. And then he asked her, he pretty much hangs up. Go back to Woodbury. Andrea jumps off the wall because this girl with the crossbow that costs more than her car can't hit a walker. So Andrea jumps off the wall instead. Oh, you can't do that. It was kind of lame this week, I guess you could say. But it's setting up a plot line, so it wasn't expected to be super awesome. Uh, so yeah, Herschel ends up going in the boiler room. He talks about the Rick talks about the phone, and you can see Herschel just thinking, yeah, he's not Rick right now. I don't think he's here. You can tell. He just didn't want to say anything because Herschel is a wise man. He's very old. Kind of looks like Santa Claus. So he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. You know, what's the word? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to mess with Rick. You could say. And I know it's a stupid word to think of for 10 seconds, but there was a word in my head and I just forgot it. But he doesn't want to mess with Rick's head at this point. He wants to see if he's alright, if he's not doing anything stupid. He's talking on a phone, pretty much a playphone. Neil, which Murrow calls him, just a random guy. They had a little bit of an arc, maybe like 10 minutes. Trying to find Michonne. Michonne ambushes again, cuts to the Neil guy in the chest. Walkers come, they kill him. Michonne's gone. Sneaky, ninja-like. Myrtle's just like, alright, cut. And then Myrtle's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, back at the prison, Daryl, Oscar, and Carl go looking for Carol, I believe, maybe, or maybe they're just clearing. I think actually they're clearing it out, and then they find, which I'll explain a little bit. See, but another way that it's showing Daryl's soft side is how he talked about how his mother died. Now, this actually gives a good idea of what they're trying to do with Daryl now, is him opening up to what he wanted to be. And his brother forced him to be, this type of person that he, is right now. He doesn't hate it, but he doesn't wish to be that person. So they're showing a good way of opening him up. Talking about last episode, him cradling baby. In this episode, talking about how his mother died and how he was outside playing with the kids and everything when Merle wasn't around. So shows you he didn't want to live like Merle. He didn't want to be like Merle. So it was a very interesting scene, very useful scene, you could say. And then you got the Woodbury scene. Governor and Andrea have this weird sexual tension type of scene. It was corny Woodbury. It was just called Cornberry, whatever. I don't know. It was a very corny scenes they had in this episode between them two. It was funny. Uh, so yeah, Murrow come back to Murrow, calls off the hunt for Michonne. The Neil dude's like, no, I'm not gonna lie to the governor, because Murrow's like, let's just go back. Let's not risk any more. He's like, I'm not gonna lie to the governor. Showing that the governor's henchmen are very afraid of him, and they don't want to come back with odd results. Um, Myrtle's not afraid of that. Myrtle wants to be himself. It's starting to, once again, fuels my speculation that Myrtle might end up leaving Woodbury. He might be one of the comic book villains because 2 people end up leaving Woodbury in the comic books. So I'm not going to name them because, well, actually, I'm going to name them. So Comic Book Explorer, skip ahead like 10-20 seconds. Alice, and then the Doctor. Actually, Alice, Doctor, and there's 3 people, but the Doctor dies, and Martina is one of his henchmen. So we'll just move away from that. That's just speculation. I'll talk about speculation in the videos. Michonne covered in blood from this really gory scene when she cuts the guts out of the zombie, just spills all over. It's like, oh man. She didn't look pretty proud of that. I don't know why she aimed for the stomach. Maybe trying another cut a zombie in half scene, I guess. I don't know. But it was a nice lead up because she finds out that if you have zombie blood on you all over you, which we actually found, the viewers found out in season 1 that they will not, they'll actually think you're one of them. And she finds that out finally. So she's learning more. Um, she's not a stupid person. So she's very smart. Uh, so yeah, back to the phone. Uh, Rick talks to a woman, talks about Lori. He should talk about it, and they know his name, and then they hang up on him. He asks, "Why do you know my name?" Never got an answer. Next scene, very important scene, lead up to the next 2 episodes. They end up at like a little plaza type of thing. Well, Michonne does. She ends up seeing Glenn and Maggie show up. They get a lot of speaker supplies for the survivors. Survivors, the baby survivor. I mean, the adults, the kids, whatever. Merle finds them. Uh, so yeah, but I'll go. Then again, you have another, you know, Governor and Andrea's sexual tension breaks. They start making out. Corny, corny days at Woodbury. But it's leading up to something. They're doing a good job with it. You know, those scenes just make me giggle because it's just so awkward. Um, so yeah, we'll go back. Merle finds Glenn and Maggie, and a nice little tidbit. Uh, Glenn does tell Merle that his brother is alive. So, leading to speculation that he might move away from Woodbury. They thought they'd have begun very. Whenever Glenn and Maggie go somewhere, something bound to happen together. Maybe you should have done season 3 meme. Never leave Glenn and Maggie alone. Because you got the watchtower, you had the pharmacy twice. And then you had this. Uh, so yeah, they drive off. And then Daryl finds Carol's knife. Kind of just, I don't know, weakens at that point. Rick answers the phone. And he recognizes it's Lori's voice. And she tells him that the people on the phone were Amy, uh, Andrea's sister, Jackie, I think T-Dog's maybe wife. She was part of the group in season 1. She died at the CDC. And Jim, the one who was bit, they decided to keep alive and leave by a tree. Those were the people talking in that order. Um, no, no, actually it was Amy, Jim, and Jackie. And he talks to Lori, and I think the static was like a symbolic type of thing back to reality. I think that's what they did with that static. It was kind of confusing to begin. That, you know, he's got a baby and Carl, so still haven't named a baby. Kind of should probably get to that, so I stopped calling it a baby. Um, Governor and Andrea are, yeah. Merle interrupts him. Merle tells him they got prisoners, and he tells her another tidbit of news that they know Andrea. Um, is the governor gonna hide that from her? Probably. I would expect it because he's seen how she handled the fight thing and how they worked it out. So maybe, I don't know. I think he won't tell her, but she will ultimately find out and make her want to leave. So that could always happen. Governor goes back to Andrea once again. Just freaking weird shit happened in Woodbury. More just like it should be called the Woodbury. It should be called Governor Andrea's scenes. Like nothing about Woodbury. All you see is Merle. Like you see nobody else pretty much. Daryl wants to find Carol. Very weakened. Starts carrying her back. So we know she's alive. Um, so she doesn't seem bitten. She just seems tired. Daryl now just all happy. Yeah, he looks so happy. So yeah, and then this this last scene is gonna set the tone for the next 2 episodes. Episode 7 and its mid-season finale, episode 8. Michonne finds the prison. Rick sees her. Um, uh, so yeah, that's the end of the scene. That connects Woodbury. That's the connector between Woodbury and the prison, and that's how it's gonna start. Episode 6 is the start. You could say episode 7. You can argue that. Um, but we do know Michonne ends up in the prison. They're not gonna kill her. But what would be interesting is how she gets in the prison. Is it the basket she's carrying with the formula? Also, remember, I'm going to speculation, you know, kind of spoilers for the next episode, maybe predictions. So if you don't want to listen to those, or you're not you type of person who doesn't want to watch trailers, or who doesn't, or doesn't read anything, just waits till the next uh, episode, then this is your time to leave the video. I'm gonna do like a couple more minutes of speculation and what think happens next episode. So yeah, you can. I will be starting that now, just so you know. So yeah, um, Rick finds Michonne outside the gate. They're gonna go get her. In the comic books, she saves Otis, and that's how she gets into prison, into the group. I think her holding that basket gets her in, or the knowledge of Woodbury. From the promo you saw right after the episode, you know that she will tell them about Woodbury, that's how they connect the prison to Woodbury. Um, Also, be interesting if she tells Daryl about Merle, or Daryl's there and Michonne is speaking. I don't have the picture of that promo when I saw it. Of Daryl was there when she said there's people at Woodbury. So she's connecting them now. Episode 7, I think, will be the building point, the breaking point, whatever. Breaking point, I don't know, the build up. Episode 7 will be them preparing to attack. I'm pretty sure in the mid-season they're going to attack Woodbury. Woodbury attacks them. I'm pretty sure they'll attack Woodbury. Um, there was actually news confirmed. Skip ahead like a minute or so because Robert Kirkman confirmed that there will be another character joining the show, episode 8. He didn't say if he's joining the group, but it's most likely he will. He wouldn't be Woodbury. Um, but he said it was a fan favorite from the comic book, and it leads you to speculate Tyrese. He's the Daryl of the comic books, you could say, even though they're introducing Daryl to the comic books. But Tyrese, um, he was that type of character in the comic books, and it's most likely they introduce him episode 8. It might end up being some other people that were beyond prison arc, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Tyrese. Um, so yeah, episode 7 is just gonna be a build up. They're gonna plan how to attack. They don't know much about it. I believe they'll keep Michonne there. I think it'll be Rick, Daryl, and Oscar, from what it looks like in the promo, that are the ones that will be going to on the road to Woodbury. You can say they won't. Michonne's gonna be key in them finding it, but it looks like she will not be joining them on that journey. Um, Episode 7 is named when the dead comes knocking, I believe, something like that. Um, uh, I know what the name of episode 8 is, but it's a huge. It could be possibly a huge spoiler. I don't know if that's. They're really good with their titles. Um, this week, Hounded, Maggie and Glenn, you could say, but I'm not going to spoil episode. I'm not sure. Also, it's been confirmed by Robert Kirkman that for the comic books fans, Glenn, comic book spoiler, he gets his hand cut off when he gets captured. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% if he does end up inside Woodbury, if being captured or just willing. I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna work out. I'm pretty sure that they'll probably see face to face, but it's not gonna be in the next 2 episodes. I think they'll have the first encounter episode 8. It's gonna be the the driving point. It's gonna be the start point. They're not gonna see each other, not gonna know who they are. They just know that they attacked and they're dead. They're gonna be a deadly force. Um, so yeah, but Robert Kirkman confirmed that Rick will not be getting his hand cut off, which is a good thing. I think it would have been bad for TV. I think it would have been a burden maybe to the show. Because him having one hand, it's gonna be difficult because people are like, well, what's the point of doing that? How is it gonna affect him? But I think it's a good idea that they're not gonna cut his hand off. He actually said he regretted doing it in the comic book, so that's a nice little tidbit. So we got two very good things in the movie, small things. But to end it off, I think episode 7, like I said, is going to be the leader up. It's going to be like this episode, but a little bit more action packed. It's going to have more zombie killing. There's only like 5 zombies killed and 3 humans. Uh, I think what episode 7 is, they'll find out, and it'll begin with them talking to Michonne. They'll find out what happened. We'll see a little bit of Glenn and Maggie getting, you know, interrogated. We already know they're probably getting the shit beat out of them. With Maggie, I think she suffers the Michonne fate. I think she ends up getting the rape. Michonne was captured and raped in the comic books because she's actually with the prison before the helicopter crashes. Um, so she was actually with Glenn, Rick, and Michonne, the ones that were captured. Now it's Glenn and Maggie. So leads me to speculate that Maggie's gonna suffer Michonne's fate from the comic books, but I could be wrong. Um, I won't be surprised if either way they do it. I know they're not gonna cut Glenn's hand off, but I could be wrong on that. I hope they don't. So I think, like I said, it's gonna be a big build up. It's gonna start with them, the prison start learning about Woodbury, and then Woodbury learning about the prison. I think Glenn and Maggie will finally give up the information. Uh, Next week you'll have my speculation of what episode 8 is. I don't want to go to that past an episode and speculate it's going to happen in that episode. So it's a little bit long video because, like I said, it was a build-up episode. There's a lot to learn from it, behind the scenes in that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, like 2 minutes ago, all the links are below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave comments about Quest. Tweet me, or if anything I should add to it. Maybe should I cut down the videos, or should I talk about the important scenes instead of everything? It's up to you guys. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.